welcome to HogHype, joined by our Hog Zone contributor Kevin Luthringer and Locked on Razorbacks podcast host John Nabors. Guys, 2 games left in the regular season, 2 games left in the whole season if Arkansas can't win one of them. They've got Ole Miss this Saturday, finally a night game in Fayetteville. Kevin, we'll start with you. How do you feel going into this?
Well, this game comes down to, especially with Ole Miss losing last week, now the SEC West or SEC championship games they don't have a chance at that. So it comes down to, what do you want to play for? Are you playing for that bowl game? And it's in Fayetteville. It's going to be really cold. I think this game is going to come down to who can get their guys up for the game. Hopefully that's Arkansas, but we've seen some slow starts.
Yeah, especially with the health of KJ still being in question. I mean, I don't think that it's too far-fetched to say that if KJ Jefferson was healthy the past 2 games, they probably win those, but that's not how it works. I'm hoping, for the Razorbacks' sake, that if KJ's playing, that'll be able to provide some sort of spark of motivation for this team, energy for this team, because defense has been great the past 2 weeks. Hopefully they can keep that up. But if the offense can be inspired by KJ playing and come out and have a great performance, I really like Arkansas's chances.
John, you started to mention the defense a bit there. Ole Miss is kind of a different animal when it comes to offense. We know that's what Lane Kiffin and his Rebels teams have kind of hung their hats on. Do you see the Arkansas defense showing what it's shown the last 2 weeks against Ole Miss?
I think so. For whatever reason, it seems like they've turned a corner. It's one thing to be able to play bad offenses or teams that aren't very good at offense, but Liberty was a pretty good offensive team that they shut down completely in the second half. LSU was scoring over 30 points a game, scored 36 points against Alabama, and Arkansas held them to 1 single touchdown. I mean, if they're able to turn that corner, I don't see any reason why they can't slow down Ole Miss, especially when it's going to be bitterly cold in Fayetteville.
That's what I was just about to get to. Cold helps the defense. It's going to help the run game. Both these teams want to run. I think the cold's going to keep them in this game defensively, and we'll just see which team can run the ball. Both teams are going to want to do that. Rocket hasn't had a good time doing that the last 2 weeks, but KJ coming back is going to help that.
You mentioned it there. I mean, the Arkansas run attack has not been itself the last couple of weeks. Is there anything that you see that can change this week, or is that just kind of what to expect from them?
I think it's KJ. They're just coming down in the box. They weren't worried. Last week, LSU just wasn't worried about us testing them deep. So I think KJ comes in, helps that. And then Pittman, that's what he wants. He wants to be a physical game. Hopefully they get back to that.
And they got to block.
Yeah.
I mean, the past 2 games, Arkansas was so good on the offensive line, and for whatever reason, the past 2 weeks, they have been horrible at blocking. I mean, Dalton Wagner, I know, was out against LSU, and we saw Harold Perkins out there and the nightmares he was providing, but they got to just get back to blocking. I know that it's a team effort on the offense, but if they can block the way that we've known them and seen them earlier this year, that's going to help out Rocket, that's going to help out KJ, it's going to help out everybody on the offense.
Ole Miss and Arkansas have a history of just insane games. I mean, it feels like every year something wild happens. John, we'll start with you. Do you trust this Arkansas team if things get weird?
No. I mean, because there's just to be honest, because there's been so many times this year where they're not making those big plays at the end of the game. I think Sam Pittman even alluded to that. They've lost 3 games by a total of 7 points, and they were winning those games a lot of times last year because they were making the plays, and they just haven't done it. I think that this is going to be a wacky game, as it always is. But when it comes down to it, game on the line late in the 4th quarter, if Arkansas's got to make a play, just basing off this season, I just don't know if I have enough confidence that they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I stay in the same place. I don't think we're going to get another 50-50 game, scoring in the 100-point totals. It's going to be a lot lower scoring game. Arkansas needs to get a lead and then hopefully can run the clock out with a long offense. If it's coming down to a final drive, I probably trust Ole Miss offense over Arkansas's this week.
All right, last game in Fayetteville this season. Arkansas and Ole Miss will go down on a frigid Saturday night. And, of course, tune back in right here to THV11 Hog Zone, 10:35 Saturday for all the highlights and live reaction.